Hey, good morning, everybody. What's the date today? I gotta think. Oh, it's the 13th. The 13th of September. And did it rain last night?
Yes.
Little bit.
I didn't hear a thing.
Yes.
I slept solid from 8:30 right till 5:30. Felt so good. I feel refreshed today. But I hope you do too.
I slept right through last night too. Like I didn't get up till 7 o'clock today. I slept in.
Oh, and your doggy slept in too?
Well, Brian got up with the puppy and then the other one was just, I got up. Yeah.
Okay. So we had our first day at Canadore. I think it was a wonderful day. And it was full, jam-packed with, okay, Mark Deacon, with Zumba. And then somebody went hiking up onto the Canadore trails, and another group went hiking on the monastery trails. So, and then people were on Zoom. So a very full morning for everybody. Congratulations. And I'm really enjoying. And then you had snacks and coffee, right? Wow. For those of you who weren't there. Jeez. But we're here with Kristin this morning. Kristin took me on a walk that challenged my fear factor. I said to her, I can jump out of a plane, but I don't know about this trail.
I thought, I got to do something special for Harriet. And we got about 10 feet into the trails, and it was a really dark day overhead. Harriet said, I can't see a damn thing. So I thought, uh-oh. And we were ready. And it was steep and it was wonderful. And
yeah, but what did I say? I can't see, it's dark. And what's wrong? And I said, I've got to have cataract surgery. This isn't helping me.
Was that one of the trails on North Shore?
It was. And I picked, because I thought Harriet is sort of fitter than anybody I know. I picked the trail that goes straight up, no winding, no anything. And Harriet was looking at her heart rate on her Apple Watch, and there were all kinds of, we came to a tree that had just fallen. I'd been up there in the last week and it was all right. And Harriet's little legs, we had to kind of pull her over, and it was just very steep and a lot of fun, a lot of laughs, and a great time.
We did, we laughed a lot. And I'm not, Kristin and I, our friendship has grown into, for me, complete trust and honesty. And we just say what's on our minds, and it's a lovely feeling.
Yeah.
Held in that bubble of, loving friendship and trust and openness.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Can we go?
Joan Hale, give me a thumbs up if you think we did that trail last year. No? This year.
No, we didn't do it last year. I was avoiding that one.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe that's in the future.
We could do it. I think it's called Railroad.
It's a fun one with a really beautiful view at the top.
Kristin volunteered. Do you mind me saying, Kristin?
No, not at all.
Has volunteered. If some of you want to do that walk with her, she'll take you on that walk.
Okay.
Right? Oh, we got thumbs up here. Okay, Debbie, you might have to bring a rope because Debbie's going. If Debbie's going, your legs are a little shorter than mine. Or the most beautiful thing, I wish I would have had a camera, because just to have a hand from a friend. Very symbolic. All those things were just filling me up with the great.
Not a little shorter, Harriet, a lot shorter.
Yeah, but you're tall and spirit girl, big time.
Let's go from there to self-discovery, can we?
Yes, let's do it.
Because we have raised so much already, and is anybody new, first of all? Is everybody familiar? Oh,
Yeah.
hi, Yvonne. Hi, Kristen. And Yvonne, I'll just tell you, if there's anybody else on another page, let me know. But Yvonne, I'll just tell you, always with me. If what we do resonates, yay. And it's helpful, yay. If it's not, let it run off your back like water off a duck. I feel like I have been saying that for 25 years. It just, what matters is how you feel leaving. That's all we care about. I'll just say thank you to Roseanne, who has put some beautiful words in there, because a friend of ours, I gather, just passed away, and we loved her. And thank you very much. She was a gem. She is a gem. So much we've already said about self-discovery and telling the truth and being who we are. And this all kind of at the moment is settling into a good place to start for me. So we'll do this. And although in general terms, we talk about meditation for me is not a technique, a thing you need to practice. It really isn't. Is it something I can practice? Yes. But it really isn't about that. It's about, I don't meditate in order to become a good meditator. I meditate to shift my perspective possibly in life, ultimately to discover who I am at a deeper level, because that changes my life, changes every relationship I have. It changes the way I see this world. And I care a lot about that. So I would say we exist kind of on two levels, mostly on a kind of head level. And somebody mentioned this morning that the biggest trip for us in this life is going from right here to right here. That's the trip we're trying to make. One of the fastest ways, one of the most helpful things in getting from here to here is to tell the absolute truth about what I see, what I feel, to tell the truth. That enough is a task for a lifetime. Because so often we don't, because of other people's feelings, our own lack of worthiness. What if I'm saying something that's weird, or it will look like I'm different, or they'll think I'm strange, all that business. One of the healthiest ways to move from here to here is just to tell the truth as I see it. It doesn't have to be my truth tomorrow. It's my truth right now, which is the only time that matters. It's the only thing that matters. Mm-hmm. So I'll say this, because I'm going to do my best to speak from here instead of from here. And I'm going to do my best to speak to here in all of us instead of to here. It's really hard because this isn't a great place for words. This is a really good place for words. So just kind of taking a stab at it. This morning, we had a really good laugh at our house because we said, wow, there was an 80% chance of rain last night, and it hardly rained at all. What's with that? Oh. And then we said, I thought it was supposed to be 9 degrees this morning, and it was 16 degrees. What's with that? And I burst out laughing and said, the weather is actually realer than the weather report. Like the weather is the real thing, not what it was supposed to be. And I would say that most of us live our lives in what's supposed to be instead of what is. And I'm always thinking how to describe why bother doing this. And for me, it's because standing with the rain dropping on me, or going in the lake this morning after I did some exercise, is a totally different thing than saying it's supposed to be 16 degrees. And I think that's the difference in living a life from here and dropping into here and really discovering who and what I am. We live an entire life with, what do you think, 40% chance of rain? What are the winds though? What about the gusts? Yeah, it didn't really happen the way it was supposed to. God, the fall's warmer than I thought it was going to be. Man, last year was a little, it's like we're living a weather report instead of living in the weather, living in the rain and the sun and feeling it on your body. And this is the difference. So does it guarantee that if we shift from here to here, that we have no suffering after that? Nope. Does it guarantee that life will be easy, that all our relationships will be easy? Nope. And that's important because a lot of people do this kind of meditating or exploring because they think it's going to make their life easier or free of conflict, and it isn't. What it does make us is alive.
9.
In truth, we are alive. It's just that we're so caught here that it's like we're outside in the rain, but still talking about the weather report all the time. Is that, and always, oh my gosh, I didn't say this. Always, if anybody has any questions for us to start with, middle with, end with, just pitch them out. So my next question is, then how do I go from here to here? Because this is almost a delusion that we carry. I mean, this is what the world supports. This is what everything, this is what media supports. This is what most conversation during the day supports. This is what most relationships support. It's all about what's the weather report? How do we control the weather? How do we prepare for the weather? How do we endure the weather? How do we make the weather better? Where can we go to make the weather better? Instead of diving in the lake. So here's how I today might suggest that we dive into the lake. And while we do this together, just be aware of whether your head is engaged here, your mind. And if you care to, just breathe yourself back into yourself for a second. You know, most of us, me included, all the time, we engage with each other from here. We kind of lean forward, engage with our thoughts and our feelings. And I would just invite us, because this is half the skill, to just kind of energetically sit back a little bit into yourself. That's a weird thing for us, because that place is a little more vulnerable, a little less protected. So we'll just practice. Nothing scary is going to happen. And anytime you want, I can just plaster my face and my head right back up here. But we're just going to invite ourselves to kind of sit back into our energy for a little bit. And then we are just going to go about discovering together. And this is not me trying to lead us anywhere. It's me trying to discover for me. So we have the opportunity to discover who I am below this machine that runs the day. So I will start by dropping my history. Just dropping my history. Doesn't mean my history is not valuable or wonderful or useful. But I'm just going to drop it for the moment, just beside me. I can pick it up in 2 minutes. There's no prescription for anything happening. Let's just put my history down. And that means everything that has happened today, before now, and everything that's happened in my life. Let's just put it down. So I'm going to put down all my relationships too, because they're part of my history. I can pick them up again. No problem. I'm just going to put them down for now. Which means I'm going to put my identity as a mother down for the moment. I'm going to put my identity as a partner or wife, significant other down. I'm going to put my identity as a daughter down. I'm going to put my identity as a friend down. I'm going to put my identity as a woman down. I'm going to put whatever career I have had. I'm just going to put it down for the moment. And if it goes through our mind, and it does through mine, oh, we've done this before. I think, no, we have not done this in this moment. We have not done this in this moment. This is an opportunity. Everything I've mentioned, my history, my career, my relationships, these are things that exist largely in here. There are good things about them, bad things about them. That's kind of inevitable. We're just going to put it down. If you get nervous about putting any of them down, oh, I don't want to put my kid down because I'm worried about her. Oh, I don't want to put my mom down. She could be dead by the time I'm finished this thing. Don't, if it's nerve-wracking, just put it right beside you where you can glance down and see it. Because the mind will get concerned about this during this. The heart won't, the mind will. I'm going to put my entire future down now. Just going to put it down the rest of the day. My plans, I'm just going to put them down. They're useful, they're wonderful, but they are generated here. So I want to find out, I want some self-discovery. I want to find out who I am without those. Just going to put it all down beside me. Every thought that goes through my head, this is weird, this is strange, this is hard, this is easy. I'm just going to put the thoughts down. It's just loosening my grip on them. Just put them down for now. I could be free to do that. I'm going to put my body, all my history, my thoughts, my concerns, my opinions. I'm going to put all of that about my body. Just going to put it down. If any of these are harder than others, well, let it be. Put the fact that it's hard down. If I don't seem to be able to put some of them down, and that's a very common thing because the mind is very sticky. If I don't seem to be able to put it down, just don't put it down and just stop paying so much attention to it. Just, tuck it under your arm and let it be there. I'm going to put what I call my personality down. My personality is, it's the thing that wins over some people. It's the thing that pisses some other people off. It's the thing that disappoints some other people. It's just ideas and habits. So I'm just going to put that down. It's a thing that can change and does change. It's not the essence of me, but we think it is the essence of me. So I'm just going to put my personality down. If I find myself impatient or struggly or anything, I'm just going to put it down. It's just an idea that's floating through, like a little bug flying by. Just going to put it down. The stubborn ones come back, and that's all right. They're just stubborn thoughts. Let them be. They aren't who I am. If there's anything else that you find that's left and you think, oh, I wish she'd say this, like put down the dog, not in the bad way, but put down the dog. I wish she'd say, put down the house because the house is bugging me. Put down the car, just whatever it is for you, just put it down. Just put it down. Put down your genetic history, put down any illnesses, put down any worries. Just put them down for a moment. If this remains hard, it's all right. All I want to do is kind of loosen my grip on it being hard, that's all. And if we have been able to put some of these things down, or all of these things down, this is, and I'll remind us, this is not imagination. This is really just loosening my mental grip and seeing what's actually still there. So we'll ask ourselves, what's actually still here when I put everything down? And I don't have to make it up. I'm feeling it. What is actually still here when I put all of that down. And to the best of our ability, we'll just stay here. And I'll ask some questions. Is this here, whatever it is it something that showed up and wasn't here before? Or is it something that was here already? Do I feel less myself now that I've put those things down? Or do I still feel like myself? Do I feel like I have put anybody in danger by putting these things down, including myself? Do I feel any sense of lightness or heaviness, or just notice how that feels? What happens to my awareness of my problems when I'm here? And there are no correct answers here. This is just discovery. The question that always occurs to me here is, do I have more or less to offer from this place? If my loved ones contact me with a question, am I more useful from this place or the carrying place? Did I have to go someplace to get to this place? Or is this place here?
Did you say you had something today?
And can I sense that this is the feeling of sun on me or rain on me instead of talking about it? Can I sense that at all? This is immediate contact with now without my mind mediating it. This is being here instead of being in my story of here. So now, because I would love to hear our observations, and because I really appreciate the chance to practice staying here while I'm with other people, because that's hard for me, we'll just come back together if we care to. While you do that, just take a breath every few breaths and just be here.
Are you going now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm staying though, Sue.
I
So
can't
if
mute
we,
myself.
oh, okay.
I'm on my
So
phone.
if we'd care to, we'll just come back here while being aware of my energy, just what it does. Can it stay here or does it go back up here? And we'll just talk a little bit, if we care to, about what we discover, about what we find when we do this. I don't think there's anything, I don't think there is anything more important than this trip. This is going from editorializing about life to being in life, to being alive. We always are alive, but oh my gosh, we get caught. It's like reading a newspaper 24 hours a day. So I would love to hear any responses, and you can rest assured, if anybody is in this camp, that there'll be lots of mind stuff going on about not getting it, not being comfortable with it. The mind does not like to lose dominance.
Roseanne
doesn't,
has a
so-
comment, I think, Kristin.
The mind doesn't like to lose dominance. Is that what you were asking, Harriet, or something else?
No, Roseanne had her hand up.
Oh, thanks, Roseanne. Yeah.
Yeah, I just have a comment, Kristin, and I think it's because you've been with us, for a few years, and your voice, it just kind of brings the history into me. So even with you just talking, I calmed and I was peaceful and just feeling very Zen type thing. And then you started listing all the things I'm supposed to let go that weren't in my head. They come back in my head. So it's okay, let that go. And then you said nothing, let that go. Anyways, I did get to a beach, just a sandy beach. It was lovely.
Anyone else? Sharon? Oh,
I'll just comment that the essence of it really is being here right now. And when I do my yoga practice, I use a mantra of I am here, I am. And that seems to work to get me in the right headspace.
Yeah. Which might be not in your head space. Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's very non-dualistic.
It's the essence of it. That is correct. It is being here. And again, we can land on a beach, and we might, but this, I would say that landing on a beach is visualizing. And I would say that there is the possibility of this, to not even do this trip with visualizing, to see what is actually here. And I will almost guarantee that the mind is going to freak out about that, or check out or something. It's going to want to make sure that it has a scene in mind, or to actually just keep discovering. It's, let's say I land on the beach, it's then to drop the beach. Just drop the beach and see what's there. Just keep dropping and see what's there. Just keep dropping and see what's there. Keep dropping and see what's there.
Okay, Athena, go ahead. You're muted, Athena, please unmute.
Hi, I found it really relaxing in that even before you said to drop things, I slowly started dropping things to just try to relax. And I closed my eyes, and I actually, for a few moments, didn't feel guilty because I got a million things. And I started leaning back in my chair, and I could just feel, as I was breathing, my heart, just in here, is that each time I breath, and that's one thing we do always, and we sometimes don't think about. We breathe no matter what's going on. And I guess when you're really stressed, you need to breathe in and breathe out and just meditate. That's something I usually used to do forever and forgot. And I'm really glad I started this again today.
It's nice. It's nice, Athena. That is you describing the feeling of the water instead of the weather report. You know?
Oh, yeah.
That's the feeling of the water. Yeah.
I never listen to weather report.
It's funny. I had a bunch of people around me dying lately, people I really adore. And my low back went bananas. And this is the first time in more than a year. It just went bananas. And my very first response is to ask myself whether I'm breathing to my low back. And I thought, I haven't been. Oh, I have closed myself off from the water because the water is grief filled at the moment. But closing myself off from the water is where the real suffering comes from, you know?
Mhm.
But that, can I just say, Kristin, that doesn't mean that you can't be with that loss, no?
No,
Like-
I mean, it's
Yeah.
because of an attempt in myself to not be with the loss that my body kind of shut down and got all resistancy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, no.
That's
It is.
okay. I just needed to clarify that for me.
Yeah. It was like trying to protect myself from the loss. That's what creates in me a body that I'm not breathing fully to.
You know,
It's
I
like,
don't know if you saw, but Sue's husband bent down and gave her a lovely kiss. And I saw that. And I thought, now that's in the moment.
yeah.
And I was thinking about, I have a friend I went to university with who's had ALS forever. Talented person with a doctorate and, you know, given so much. And her husband has stayed by her side all these years. And it's just a real epitome of unconditional love. They popped into my head when we were doing this, you know, just for a moment to say, you know, wow, that's something.
You know, I'll suggest too that when we do this kind of work where we shift from here to here, that we'll find that different things pop into our head after, because this becomes kind of a cleaner channel. Instead of just jammed up with habitual thoughts and feelings. So different things occur to us. This becomes kind of an open channel that I would say is far more creative and far more attuned to what is and to other people. Far more relaxed. That doesn't mean without feelings at all, but just like something far more flexible and helpful as a human being to other human beings.
Go ahead.
Anna.
Oh, Anna
Oops.
and Dorothy. Sorry, go ahead.
I've missed you, Kristin.
Me too.
And I didn't realize how heavy the things that our responsibilities are and our concerns are until we mindfully started to shed them. And then as I was shedding them and I was feeling that lighter connection with my essence, I guess, that we carry them all the time, whether we realize it or not, whether we're thinking about it or not, it's a weight upon us. So I think from time to time, as you've just led us, we deliberately have to shed them and get to that place, wherever you end up. Mine was a place of just gratitude. So that's just what occurred to me.
Yeah, it's beautiful, Anna. It makes me think of the Untethered Soul guy. He has this beautiful image that I can so identify with, and it's that when we take on these thoughts, feelings, ideas about who we are, identities, we do it to feel stable when we're younger. It gives us a sense of stability, but it's like building a castle around us, and we build it and defend it, build it and build it until there's no light coming in. You know, the light's coming in these tiny little slits, and we're hungry somehow, hungry for the fuller version of ourselves, not this protected, walled version of ourselves. So, but we think this is us. We think this thing is us. And yeah, I think it's really helpful for us to dismantle this, to do what we can to dismantle it and find out what remains. Because that is that's maybe who we are. So I appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah.
Dorothy?
As you were speaking, Kristin, I was thinking, I wasn't thinking, I was dropping and inhaling and letting things go, and had a long list of my own. And then you said, and I was inhaling, I felt like I was really meditating. And you said, and then what's left? And I wanted it to be an essence like Anna, but it was, all I could think of was just a bag of guts and bones and and that's what I felt was left. And I realize now that I probably went from that meditating state to my head.
Well, and that's beautiful. It's a beautiful description, and it's what happens 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times. And you know, the mind is not too keen about thinking we're a pile of bones and guts. So I would say even the pile of bones and guts is something you can drop. It's an idea. But boy, I have never met anyone who drops all the way down without being terrified at some point or feeling a lot of resistance, because what we drop down to is something you cannot grab or hold. It's something you can't describe with language. It is not the mind. And the mind wants dominance. The mind wants to be in charge by describing it, by grabbing it back, by saying, oh, you shouldn't do this, or saying this is nonsense. The mind is a relentless commenter. And mind's like a troll on social media. Mind is a troll. So that's beautiful. And if I got to a point where I think I don't know, I was hoping for something more, I just continue and drop that. Oh, drop the hope for something more. Drop the hope that this leads to me being relaxed and peaceful and able to put my leg over my head. How about I just drop that too? Yeah, you know, drop my hope to be the Dalai Lama. Drop my hope to be able to do relationships with people any better. Just keep dropping. Just keep dropping. This isn't about arriving at a greener pasture. And the mind is totally set up to look for things that take us to a greener pasture. Make me a better person. We just have to keep dropping and dropping and dropping. These are beautiful comments.
I am so glad that Dorothy commented what she did. And I love your response, because every time we do this practice, I get the same sort of sense, Dorothy, like, okay, drop, shed, drop, but there's nothing. What's there? I don't know. I can't name it. That is the mind trying to name.
Yeah.
Right? What's there?
Yeah.
And there doesn't have to be anything there, right?
Well, I don't know.
But
You are correct that the mind will say, what is this? This is nothing. What is this? There should be some feeling of sweetness and love and light and peace. But I will guarantee you that with the great teachers, they will say, drop that sense. Drop looking for that. Drop looking for that. We are on a discovery tour of what is, not trying to turn ourselves into what we want it to be.
Kristin,
Yeah.
here. I have difficulty in the practice of dropping and shedding with interference around me. Like as I was laying there, I thought, oh, that light is bugging me. I got to turn that light off. Or someone comes in, or there's something happens, and so it's kind of like, do we need a perfect time to shed all these things, or do we need, I don't know. That's a part that I struggle with. It's like, okay, I need this set up, and I need it just perfect.
So I'll offer this, and then it doesn't matter what I'm offering, but it might, if it's helpful, great. If it's not, let it run off. But I always talk about my friend with her permission, who spent 6 years setting up her meditation room and it just wasn't right. She wanted a bigger Buddha, no, a smaller Buddha. No, the right candle, no, the lights that do the, no, the lava thing. No, geez, you know, my oldest kids just come home and never did it. But here's another thing. The reason that I'm not so attached to the idea of meditating on a mat is that, so what if that makes me a peaceful person on the mat? Like I've got a life to live here. We have each other. It's about who I become in life, and life is never going to be without the noise and the lights. So I will offer that when I hear that, I wonder if your mind is in charge there, because the mind wants to make things right. The mind wants to get the circumstances right. The mind also is extremely threatened by this. So the mind will do a pretty good job convincing you that no, this isn't right. No, you can do this, but not until I've had breakfast. Or no, I can't do it because I've had breakfast. I'm supposed to do it on an empty stomach. Oh, I can't do it. You know what? I should have my walk first because I'm restless. You know what? I can't do it because I have too much going on today. I can try it tomorrow. You know what? I can't do it because all it does is piss me off. You know what? I'm just going to end up back at that place where I think of a bag of skin and bones. What? Why do I want to do that? The mind is just super, super clever at staying in charge. It's like the weather report getting louder and louder and louder. Patty, gusts up to 25, gusts up to 25, gusts up to 30. Uh-oh, coming from the east. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This is the mind. And what I want to do is be in this world and understand that I'm not of this world. It's like I always think, I played Sister Aloysius in Doubt, and I cared a lot about it because I wore a habit and I had a little Jesus on a cross, and I'm like totally not, like I struggle with religion. I had a little Jesus on the cross on the little thing belt that the nuns wear around their habits. And I got to tell you, I just adored rubbing my thumbs over little Jesus's knees on that little thing. It really, and you know what? To be lost in the mind is like me playing Sister Aloysius and going home and thinking I'm still Sister Aloysius.
Oh, geez.
I'm not. We are here in this play together, but this is not who we are. Like, back up out of this character and understand that we are something much broader and more open and full and glorious. Yeah, we're playing this right now, but don't get too caught. Don't get too caught. The light's not right. You know, I'm thinking the same thing here. Oh, the dog's going to come home. The loons are hollering. Somebody's in a... So what? So what? Can I not breathe? Can I not still breathe? Can I then not breathe into the whole of who I am? Can I not offer the whole of who I am because a loon is hollering? It's just remembering. It's discovering and remembering. And it is one thing to get the idea of this, but to get a moment of experiencing it, you know, when we ask, is this who you are or is this someone other than you are? It is who I am. It is who I am. You know, go there and see if the light still bothers you. Honestly, this is not me being critical. Let's go there and see whether this conflict is still, let's go there and see what this world looks like. See what my worries look like, see what my body looks like to me from there. My body is beautiful from there. My relationships, including with their conflict, are beautiful from there. I always think we're out, I've said this a million times, we're out in an audience together with my arm around the person who pisses me off the most. And we're looking up on stage saying, oh my God, that's the part where we hated each other's guts and we didn't know what to do. Oh, that's the part where the lights flickered and I got nervous. Ah! And I forgot that I was divine. I forgot. I just forgot for a second. I wore that costume every day for a while and I forgot. I got a bit hooked into the costume. So that, for me, there is nothing more important than this self-discovery, including every one of these beautiful questions. Harriet.
I have a comment. I was thinking, you know, it's a really hard to get around that when you've been trained all of your life, you know, to think from your head, not from your heart.
Yeah, from your costume.
One
Yeah.
place that gets me out of there on occasion, not always, but is, you know, you talked about, you know, the ocean and the waves, and that every drop has a purpose in that ocean. There's nothing about equality or inequality in an ocean. Every drop is contributing to the ocean, you know?
And every drop is the ocean. Every
Isn't it?
drop is water.
Well, I thought, you know, your body, like this is pretty miraculous. Like there's 60 trillion cells. And every single cell, if you can get your mind around that, has something. It's there for a reason. And it's in an equal parity with all the other cells. And it lives and dies and, you know, and the cell doesn't say, I'm not helping today. I don't feel like going to work. You know what I mean? Like what makes a heart become a heart without those cells? And that's all part of who you are. Like you said, isn't that a miracle?
Oh my gosh.
Miracles. Like it's a miracle that we as a species exist, but it also is a miracle that a loon exists or a tree, you know. Like it's just pretty interesting. I'm not trying to. I just feel like a feeling I have right now, and I think
it's beyond. It's unfathomable. You know, I don't know whether you've had cell physiologists or biologists in to speak, but every cell is like a community. It's a city.
Yeah.
It's just incredible. It's got garbage disposal. It's got energy production. It's got everything going on in it. Channels. It's got little repair guys who go around. It's astounding. It's astounding. And it's a costume. It's an energy. It's energy in form. Like every thought is, like every feeling is. They're all beautiful things, but boy, helpful to drop the costume sometime. Just helpful to remember or discover who you are if this business is temporary. You know, even when we say, I was trying to drop that and this one was bothering me, you know, we can keep asking questions. Who notices that? Who notices that there was something that was bothering you? And Dorothy, if something's bothering you and I see you're shaking your head, you know that somebody is observing that one that's bothered. Is the one that's observing that bothered? Just back up. Back up. It's like being Sister Aloysius and taking the sleeve off and taking the other sleeve off and saying, oh, but I can't get this crucifix off my waist. Well, just drop that. Am I still myself? Am I still myself? Just drop it. Drop it. Just keep dropping. It's astounding. You don't become, you are. We are the energy that runs those cells and beats that heart. And we are currently wearing this costume. This personality is also a costume. We're wearing this costume. So are the people who piss us off. They're wearing a costume. You know how we can make this easier and warmer and flowier for all of us? See past their costume and see from inside my, beyond my own costume. Just see what we discover. This isn't becoming a better person. It's finding out who we are under the personal, beyond the personal, beyond the personality. You know, that we can happily go about self-improvement forever, improving the person, improving the thinking, think better, think more positively. But that there's a tiny bit of a racket there after a while, because the mind loves being engaged in that, needing to improve. Where I would say that if you are the sky, you are the ocean, you don't need any improvement. Stop it. Like, at least in moments, discover that. Realize the little hamster wheel of self-improvement is a bit of a trick. You are the sky. You are the sky.
Kristin, one of the most helpful things you ever gave to me, at least, and there are many, but one time you talked about using this technique when you're in a lineup at the grocery store and somebody in front of you is pissing you off, or in a traffic, well, maybe not a traffic jam because you have to focus on driving, but you know, like, not, it's all well and good to sit here or on your yoga mat or whatever, but you have to be able to at least try to touch that spot in here when you're out living in the world in real life, right? And I do it when I'm in a grocery store lineup that I'm in a hurry, I gotta get home. I really consciously try to find that spot, and it helps.
That's beautiful. That came from Thich Nhat Hanh when we were, I spent some time with him, and we would be at this place in Vermont, and a gong would go about 12 times a day, and everybody, 1,000 people at that place would just stop. And you could just feel the whole place just. And he said, when you go home, do that. Make a red light, your gong. Make a lineup at the grocery store, your gong. And yes, to do it with other people when I'm irritated, just think, oh, gong. Oh, yeah, what's really going on here? It's just energy. It's just a little wave of energy going on. It's just a little white cap on the lake, which we find beautiful. I don't get pissed off when there are white caps on the lake. That's all it is with people. But you know what? It comes in handy for me too. And I'll just pitch that out in case anybody is the kind of personality that I am. When I do something and regret it later, I think, why did I say that? Why did I get caught in that? Why was I such an ass? I was at a funeral of a person I loved the other day. And it was in a Catholic church, which I got to say freaked me out a little bit. It was like super heavy Catholic. Kneel down, stand up, kneel down, say this. And I was Catholic growing up, and it freaks me out a little. And you know what? I think I spent more time during that service freaked out about that than loving my friend Eileen. And I got out and I burst into tears in my car and thought, what was I doing back there? Well, that's another gong. Kristin, you're a human in a little costume. You're a human in a little costume. It's all right. It's glorious. That's being human. And it's really hard to offer it to other people if I don't offer it to myself. And I find it hard to offer it to myself. So there's another place.
Holy moly. Another great day. Hey.
I love seeing your beautiful faces.
Oh my goodness. So I have to, Chair Yoga's coming on, and Bentley, welcome back. And I want to say, you know, we're all a part of the body of the universe, right? Like it's all, this is all us, you know. And Kristin, thank you so much, and I'm glad you're back.
Thank you, guys. It's beautiful to be here. I mean, beautiful to be here.
All right, I'm going to stop the recording here.